Midterms are now officially behind us. Well, maybe not officially. There's a couple runoffs and still things in the works. Still counting votes. I'm going to cover today is going to be about my opinions on how I felt the election went. Did the Democrats cheat? Did the Republicans just not show up? I'm going to cover that and a lot more. I'm Laoch, and this is Laoch's When the Hammer Drops. All right, folks. Just like every other conservative out there that listens to my show, I am baffled on how it went. I really am. First, I want to start off with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you just elected the most radical Democrat for the Senate. You think everything is safe? This man, Fetterman, he went, and on my last show, I even showed the video. And for those of you that weren't able to see the video, I mean, obviously you heard the audio, where he says that he stands with Roe versus Wade, and then he's about the demise of Roe versus Wade, and yet you still voted for him. And he's now the senator for Pennsylvania, which just blows my mind. This guy cannot comprehend anything without looking at a teleprompter. And even then it takes him a few, 30 to 45 seconds to comprehend this because of the stroke. You should have done him a favor and let him go home till the next time and then let him run when he's actually 100%. Now you have a senator that literally shouldn't be there, just like Joe Biden shouldn't be the resident in the White House. But I digress. I mean, that's your case out there in Pennsylvania. I know I got listeners out there. I feel for you. Trust me, because in Illinois, we got screwed just as much. Now, I know up to the election, Fetterman camp was suing to allow ballots that were misdated or undated to be allowed to be counted. That's ballot harvesting right there. That's what they were trying to do. Did they really need to do it? Honestly, with the way Oz pretty much during the summertime just like took the whole summer off, wasn't campaigning, and this goes across the board for all the conservatives that lost. And even some of them that just barely squeaked by. They all felt that people were sick and tired of how things were going. I mean, by all the polls were showing, Americans are sick of it, but yet Americans still voted for Democrats. And some of the Democrats that are putting us in the position that we're in. And that goes to Pennsylvania, that goes to Illinois, that goes to Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? It's a domino effect. So yeah, I think in Pennsylvania, they were definitely trying to set up to steal the election. I like to believe I don't think they needed to do that this time, because you had a conservative running that was he really there? Not so much. Oz shouldn't have been there. He didn't run a very strong campaign. He just kind of, was going off of Trump, Trump's name, Trump's backing. And I think that was wrong. And unfortunately, we lost that. The conservatives lost Pennsylvania. Now Trump had an excellent record with the ones that he backed. I think it was like 219 that he backed, won, and like a small percentage lost. So I mean, he's still got a very good high-low percentage when it comes to that. But unfortunately, Pennsylvania was kind of lost. Over here in Illinois, again, I mean, this election was called. Like, as soon as the polls closed, it was called for Pritzker, and it was just a hands-down slaughter to the conservatives in Illinois. The Democrats just cleaned house. And I think, again, a lot of that has to do with, conservatives, the higher ups in the the RNC in Illinois, they didn't really give a lot of backing. You didn't get a lot of backing from the boys, Mitch McConnell, McCarthy, or any of them to kind of help the Republicans in Illinois. I mean, they focused on their, I hate to say it like this, but they're rhinos. Do I think McCarthy's a rhino? No, but McConnell definitely is. So, yeah. But one of the main reasons, and I posted this on the Facebook page, one of the big reasons why Illinois lost, I mean, flat out just got decimated by the Democrats, was because early voting, mail-in ballots, all that stuff, they have had years now to kind of get this figured out, and they have it down to a science. I mean, let's be honest. And that's why the conservatives lost in Illinois. I mean, I guess maybe it might have also helped that miraculously in Chicago you had, certain places being shut down because the machines weren't working. Oswego machines weren't working. You also had people not requiring to get an ID for people to vote, which is all against the law. I mean, you should, this is why you need ID to vote, because I could be somebody from another country going to vote, and I don't need a fucking ID to vote. I need an ID for everything else but to vote. You should only be a U.S. citizen and vote in our elections. I'm sorry. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But I also think another problem that wiped out the conservatives was the fact of Roe versus Wade. You had a lot of women that came out to vote, and they voted just plainly because of that. Not because of any of the other issues, because they believed all the bullshit that the Democratic Party was throwing at you about Roe versus Wade, about abortion and all that stuff. You believed it. You bought a hook, line, and sinker. Now, like us here in Illinois, our gas prices are going to soar. The gas to heat our homes is going to soar. And electricity, all that stuff. And you think I'm joking. Biden literally went on TV the day before the elections and said he's going to shut down the coal plants, which coal plants help to provide about 23 to at least 23% of our electricity. Yeah, I guess you didn't know that. And natural gas, well, that does the same thing. But you decided, well, I want to vote for this guy because, and most Democrats, because of my stance on abortion and abortion rights and blah, blah, blah. Listen, and I'm going to be frank with you right now. The Republicans aren't all against abortion. Sure, they're against abortion for, to full term and all that stuff, which you've elected people that allow abortions to full term, which is fucking ridiculous. That's murder. And yet you're okay with that. And it just blows my mind. Republic in a lot of states, if you actually looked into it, there, in cases of incest, in cases of rape, in cases of, it's the mother's life at jeopardy, or it's mother or child. In those cases, yeah, nobody's against abortion, folks. But we are against abortion because you don't like the sex of the baby, or you just, you just had that one night stand and, all of a sudden you're pregnant and now you want to abort it. Well, here's something that you can do: the day after pill. Instead of waiting, if you had unprotected sex, and I'm not going to get into this that much more. This is going to be my last thing. If you have unprotected sex and you're worried about being pregnant, go buy the fucking pill and take it. Take it right then and there. Solves everything. But, ladies, I hate to say it, and I'm sure you're not going to agree with me, and that's okay. We're not supposed to agree 100% on everything. These are my opinions on what happened and why they happened. But, ladies, if that's why you voted, you definitely fucked yourself, because, just wait and see, because Illinois is going to be a shitstorm come January 1st with the SAFE T Act that's going in effect, where it's going to be sure, they're going to get arrested, but they're going to be out of jail that same day. They're going to empty prisons because of people being in there for nonviolent offenses. They're going to empty the jails for the same fucking thing. And yet, I bet you none of you who want to disagree with me actually read the 768-page bill like I did. So I know. It's not false. All these papers that we're going through that Republicans are spreading disinformation about the Safety Act in Illinois. No, it's the Democrats. Tell me how you can go in at 4 a.m. with a bill. None of the Democrats, because unfortunately it's super PAC in Illinois. It's all Democrats. They all let it pass. 4 a.m. by 5 a.m. it passes without a peep from anybody. I mean, that's kind of bizarre. Another bizarre thing about the election in Illinois is, and this is where I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, how is it that Pritzker, basically every Democrat that won, all won pretty much by the same numbers, as is all the Republicans that lost, pretty much lost all by the same numbers as well. That doesn't happen unless something was rigged or something was stolen. And it just so happens that the 325,000 votes that were cast in Chicago, that's brings up all those Republicans just a little bit more. Go figure. But I'm not going to sit here and cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. Illinois is fucked. And moving forward, I hope I'm wrong, but also in Illinois, just one more thing on Illinois before we continue. Illinois, and parents of Illinois, I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you. Others have probably tried to warn you and tell you as well. Come January 1st, it will be a mandatory thing for your children before they can go to public schools. They will be mandated to get the COVID-19 vaccine that is proven to cause heart conditions in people. Bravo. You just screwed your kids. Whoever voted for Pritzker, because the only absolute way we were going to even have a chance was to change the balance of power in Illinois. And now we don't. We have lost Caterpillar. We have lost big businesses throughout Illinois. And you all think it's fine here. And for those of you who voted yes for the Workers' Rights Amendment to the change of the Illinois Constitution, folks, once again, you didn't read it, did you? Because now, coming soon, is an extra $2,100 a year to your property taxes. And none of this workers' right crap, unless you are a government employee, is going to affect you. You have no say in it. So if you're Joe Schmo like me or the person down the street, you think it's going to work for you. Nope. It's only for government employees. And basically the $2,100 extra a year for the next however many years in property taxes is going to replenish the teachers union in Chicago's pensions. Congratulations. You just forced us all to clean the slate of the Democratic Party and the spending machine to pay the teachers unions or the teachers in Chicago their retirement, where some of them get 6 figures a year in retirement. Bravo. I hope you're all happy. I mean, if you didn't vote, you have no room to bitch, but for those of you that voted and you voted for Democrat, and it's everybody's choice who you vote for, but if you voted Democrat, you fucked up. And I can honestly say, if I hear one Democrat bitch about the gas prices in Illinois or this or that, I will probably slap you upside the head and tell you to shut up. Just to be honest with you, because if you actually listened and actually did your homework, you wouldn't have voted that way. But you did. So what are you going to do? Oh, by the way, if you are listening to this on any of the podcast platforms, definitely give me a 5-star rating and a review. It's going to help me get out to more people. It's going to help us with the algorithms. If you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, definitely smash the like, subscribe, follow, and get up-to-date content daily. I will supply all the links below in the comments. So let's move on. Now, I mean, there are some good things that happened from the election, and let's get into that. So I'm going to move my microphone back. So some of the good things that actually happened in the election was it a red wave completely? No, we had a ripple. We had a red ripple. I mean, but it looks like we are going to take back control of the House. It looks like we're posed to possibly take back the Senate as well, which is a good thing, because if we get the House and the Senate, even just the House, we can put a stop to Biden's bullshit real quick. McCarthy's already promised the American people different things that he's going to be doing, like investigating Hunter Biden, which surprisingly, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Joe was laughing about that one. Like, good luck. It's like, no, there's no luck here. Investigating the DOJ and the FBI because of Biden's weaponizing of them, and also firing the 87,000 new IRS agents that, from the Inflation Reduction Act or whatever the bullshit, they're gonna appeal that as well. Joe is also threatening to use his veto pen, but let's see what happens. He's got to work with the Republicans now, or nothing. And I mean nothing will get through. His last 2 years, he's fucked. So we did have good as far as that. Another good part of the elections that have happened, I should say, is that if we do get control of the House, Nancy Pelosi will be officially fired. And man, I try to say that in my Trump voice, and I actually just think of it in my Trump voice, like, you're fired. It's just like, man, I wish Trump was there to fire her. So, I mean, we had some very good things. I gotta say, down there in Florida, DeSantis and Rubio just cleaned house. And one great thing about Florida is not only did DeSantis pretty much ban mail-in voting, all that good stuff, and it shows that Florida can do that and still get the votes counted in one day. I'm still a firm believer, if it takes you longer than one day, like it is right now in Arizona and stuff like that, they're trying to cheat. They're trying to get the numbers so they can maintain control of the Senate and so on and so forth. But I think, and I hope, the early voting out there, the mail-in ballots out in Arizona, is looking like it's favoring the Republicans, which is good. Laoch out there, she's been very vocal about what's going on. There's no way in Hobbs, no way she's, if she wins, then for a matter of no doubts, it was cheated out there. I mean, especially considering it's the same county that always seems to have issues when it comes to the election, that they can't get it straight for some reason since 2020. But, there's nothing to see here, folks. There's no cheating. So we did have some good. We had a lot of bad. Was it the way we all wanted it? No. But we all need to just kind of just take a step back and remember, 2024 is right around the corner. We're going to find out who is going to run for president. Will Trump run? I think he will. That's why I don't think DeSantis is pretty firm on staying governor for his term down there, for his last term. Would I love to see a Trump DeSantis ticket? I would love it, but I don't think it would work. So now we play the waiting game to see if Trump is going to run for president in 2024. Biden's already kind of saying that he will, but we already know, what are they going to do? Make another clone of Biden? Who knows? I mean, that guy, he just needs to go away. He needs to just go home now. So with that, folks, I will leave you with this. Just, you know what? Remember, everything happens for a reason. We're exactly where we're supposed to be for reasons beyond our control. And moving forward, we need to, as conservatives, not take the step back. Like, okay, there's like, like sporting teams. I take in Illinois, Chicago Bears. We always say there's always next year. There's always next year. We need to stop saying that as conservatives, that there's always the next election. And this time we have 2 years to prepare for the next election. We know what we need to do. And the Republican, the RNC needs to get with the program, just like the DNC is, and come up with a plan of attack come 2024, where there are going to be more Senate seats and more House seats up along with the presidency. If we truly want to change this country, we need to continue to press forward and let people know and help people understand what is truth and what is not, and stop believing mainstream media. They're lying to you. But we need to remain focused. We need to remain diligent, and we need to continue to push forward. So that's where I'm going to leave you at today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm right there with you guys on how the election went. I'm not happy, but I see the bigger picture and the light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope you do as well. So, again, if you are listening to this or watching this, we are on all the major podcast platforms. All you have to do is go to a podcast platform, type in Laoch When the Hammer Drops, and we're going to pop up. We're on Apple, Spotify, all of them. Definitely come check us out on YouTube. Check us out over there on Rumble. YouTube, we're probably going to get banned here eventually, I would assume, because I got kicked off of TikTok yet again for a couple days because of posting videos of proof that they were what they were doing on election day. So, yeah, definitely follow me over there on Rumble. And whatever place you follow me at, please, 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 I know I said it earlier, give me a 5-star review on the podcast platforms. A 5-star and a review. This is going to help me break the algorithms and get out to more people. I see that it's starting to work, and I am grateful for you as my listeners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until the next time, folks, you guys be good. We'll see you soon.